Good afternoon, all of you.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Hi, Pooja. Welcome to DY Patil University. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good, good. I'm good. So, as always, you look so pretty. You're beautiful.
Thank you.
Uh, so, welcome here. Our audience are already there. So, let me first introduce Pooja. It's so nice to see you here. You have taken out time and you have come here to address our students. Thank you so much. So, for our audience, to give a brief introduction about you, Pooja Makhija is a celebrity dietitian and she is nutritionist to stars like Ranbir Kapoor, Deepika Padukone, Sonam Kapoor, and Shahid Kapoor, and so on. And she has transformed thousands of lives. And her best-selling book was released in 2012, that is Eat, Delete, which was translated in Hindi, Marathi, and Gujarati. And later in 2017, her another book was released, Eat, Delete Junior, for kids, nutrition. And Pooja had her own show on Food Channel, and her own radio show also on Magic FM. And she is a regular column in Times of India. She is also an entrepreneur and mother of 2 daughters, and she has her own healthy snacks, Nourishables. And so, welcome, Pooja.
Thank you for a warm introduction. Thank you.
To begin with, there are a few questions which our students, they were wanting to know. So first, to begin with, the question is, can you, being a celebrity nutritionist, being so popular, can you just guide our students, what courses they can opt? So our audience, they are class 12 students who have appeared for their board examination. We have our own hotel management students, and we have students from sports and exercise department.
Good afternoon to all the students who are attending. I know you guys are currently finding your life path, and sometimes that seems to be a very daunting task, trying to figure out why and how and what is it that you want to become and what is it that you want to achieve. Or rather, like my mom says is each and every one of us have a purpose why we are here. And sometimes it's very easy to know what your purpose is. Maybe your parents are doing it, which is why you wish to do it. Or sometimes you see the way or see the light very early on, and you somehow feel that, yes, this is what I want to do. But that's only for a very select, lucky 10% of people who actually get this sign straight from God, where we come to know that, yay, this is what I have to do. Many of us have to stumble and fall and figure out what exactly is the reason that you have been put on earth, and how exactly is it that you can contribute to society, and what is it that you're going to do with yourself. So if you are amongst that lot which is confused and does not know where you're going, what you're going to be achieving, you are not alone. All of us have been there, including myself. I want to be a nutritionist was not something I knew when I was in my 12th, maybe I did. But when I passed out from school, just to give you all a little bit of history, I was actually planning to join commerce. And I had no inclination of going to SVT College of Home Science. As fate and destiny would have it, I did not get admission into commerce. And on a very last impulse, my mom's impulse, I went to SVT College of Home Science, and that's it. So that's how life, and of course they have lots of counselors in SVT College, which first we don't really sometimes realize the importance of a counselor. And then suddenly when I spoke with the counselor, and she told me the variety of choice I will have after my 12th standard, I was like, okay, looks like I can get some inclination here. And then after that, one thing led to another, and here we are today. But to all of you who are confused, darling, don't be. You will find your ways path. And if your ways path is to become a nutritionist, let me tell you one thing about being a nutritionist, that it is the most gratifying job in the world. According to me, there are two kinds of jobs that make you a lot of money, and jobs that do make you money, but more than money, give you gratification and satisfaction. I guess being a teacher is one of those jobs that give you gratification, because you have the capacity to change your students' lives. And as a nutritionist, you have the same capacity. You have the capacity to change the way people live their lives in terms of what they eat. And because of what they eat, they are able to change the way they think, they change the way they behave, their health, their even your moods. Everything is dependent on food. So all those of you who follow me on social media know how much of what you eat you become, and which is why I always say you are what you eat, and you are also what you cheat. So yes, I know you guys are confused, but if nutrition is something that intrigues you, if nutrition is something that attracts you, it's a beautiful profession. According to me, nutrition should be a subject, mandatory subject in schools, and all of us should be taught nutrition from when we are in our first grade. Instead of teaching us about Mohenjo-daro and algebra, I think you all should teach us how to eat food, because if we know how to feed the human body, we will be able to conquer disease, we will be able to conquer our minds, our IQ, our everything depends on the food we eat. So according to me, nutrition should be taught to each and every student of the world. Till we get to that, all of us who want to pick up a career in nutrition, it's so being a nutritionist, like I said, it gives you great gratification, but you have to be very clear about what are your philosophies on nutrition, because as you must be aware, there are 5,001 diets that come out every day, and every nutritionist has something new to tell you, and every celebrity will endorse every other nutritionist. So to that, I would just say that you have to believe in your education. So your education forms a great foundation to your knowledge, because if anything is done out of a fad and because 5 people did it and 5,000 people achieved success from it, it's a failure. It has to have rootings in terms of science and human physiology and biochemistry, which is all what you will study if you want to do nutrition. Nutrition sounds like a very simple subject. Trust me, it's not. It is hours and hours of grilling and grueling work. You do everything from biochemistry to human physiology to urine analysis to you study the human body. So although it is not considered as medical, it is definitely paramedical, because you really do study that much of the human body and every organ. So if biology is something that you guys are strong with, biology and chemistry are the two things that you are strong with, nutrition can become relatively easy. My college was one of the best colleges there is. So today, SPT College is the best autonomous college of home science in Mumbai, and I'm very proud to say that I am left from that college. There are lots and lots of colleges on nutrition and dietetics in India. So I'm not saying that. Of course, everyone has their own bias towards their own college, and my college was very, very nice in terms of the faculty, their teachers, our laboratories, our practicals. We were taught everything from every aspect of nutrition, and we were grilled at it, our teacher. So I still thank my entire credible future to my teachers, because they are ones who mold me into this person that I am. They gave me those correct scientific reasons for me to have the see, remember, whatever you have to tell people, you should be so damn confident that they can ask you 50 counter questions and you can still come up with an answer. Why? Is because A, you understand it in science, and B, you have experienced it in practicality. So, or for that, I completely thank my teachers, whether it is the ability to be able to communicate. So yes, a nutritionist has to have a great mind in terms of biology and chemistry, but also she should have great communicating skills, because you have to convince people of how important food and nutrition is. So, so being a nutritionist is being half a doctor in body and half a doctor in mind, because you also have to be a psychologist who tries to understand a person's psyche and then communicate with that person at his level, so that you can hit the nerve, because food is such a psychologically satisfying emotion as well, that most of them have a lot of mind connections with food as well. So as a nutritionist, you are semi-body doctor, semi-mind doctor, completely food doctor. Yes, but it's, like I said, it's gratifying. For me, that's the only reason why I am where I am, is because every day I hear one formidable, heartfelt, warm thank you from my clients, and blessings from my client's mother or a spouse, because food has changed their life, has changed their health problems, their mental problems, whether it is not being able to conceive a child, to whether it was depression or anxiety, or it was not being able to get regular menstrual cycles, or not being able to grow taller or build muscle. Food has the power to help you on every aspect. So if you guys are strong in fortes of communication, science, biology, and the ability to study, nutrition is not an easy subject. It is not. It's not a very. It's not something that you can bunk classes and lectures and still be able to manage. You really have to work hard, because the human body is a very complex machine. You have to understand the entire body, literally like a doctor, and then understand the correlation of food with it. So it goes a long way, but hard work really pays off. So if you are willing to do hard work, you can do magic with nutrition. That was just what I wanted to start the talk with. But could you, ma'am, tell me the question you asked me again?
So, can you tell what are the different courses student can opt to build a career in nutrition?
There are graduation courses as well as diploma courses that you can do in food science and nutrition. So I have done my BSc in food science and nutrition, and I've done my BSc in dietetics and my MSc in food science and nutrition. So there are various fields of studying nutrition, dietetics. There are diploma courses to do sports science and nutrition. There is, so for all those of you who are from the sports faculty and have studied that as a career, I think doing sports nutrition, even you get diploma courses in sports nutrition, you don't have to do a 3-year graduation course, but you could do there are various between 6 months and 1 year diploma courses that you can do in food science and nutrition. Of course, a degree course is a far more deeper way to study it. And if you are 12th standard now and you wish to do a 3-year, you have the time at hand to be able to do it. I would always prefer you to do degree courses, because degree courses give you a deeper understanding of the subject, and the deeper you understand the subject, the better you are at it. So superficially, you can be jack of many trades, but you have to find the one thing you want to be a master at. And nutrition is an ever-evolving science. What I studied 25 years ago, yes, I feel extremely old when I did that math, but I did that math because I wanted to speak with you guys. So I was like, okay, so when did I finish studying? So I have finished studying 25 years ago. But till date, I study every day. I do online courses. I do continuous medical evaluations online, which give me CME credits, and I do docu-series online, and I'm studying online because food and nutrition is ever evolving, and you have to be updated with it. So there are lots of courses you guys can do. You will have to look up in your. So all of you are Mumbai based, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, so of course, SPT College, I would recommend it hands down because it is such a great institute. It is a very it's an extremely happy environment to study in. It really um, uh, fosters you to study. The environment is such that it makes you study, but of course that's a different topic. But you can do it anywhere where you will be able to have easier access to attend these courses. Do you guys, as the university, have any of these courses?
We have hospitality where we have a subject nutrition. Even in sports and exercise, we have a subject nutrition.
Right. So if you all want to take nutrition as something that you all want to enhance your current education base with, if you can't do, according to me, there are even part-time courses in nutrition that you all can do. I'm sorry, I might not be the best person to tell you what is happening 25 years later, but of what I have read and I had updated myself, there are lots more courses than I had when I graduated. There was a specific course for metabolic ailments such as diabetes and all the other chronic health problems. There is sports science and nutrition. There was even pediatric nutrition that was introduced. So there's a lot that is being done because, of course, 25 years is a long time. Our institutes and our universities are also updating their data sets for you. But the idea here is if that's something that drives you, because according to me, nutrition is something that you need on a day-to-day basis, even for yourself. It's not something that you only need as a career. You also need to know what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, when to stop. So it's a great subject to understand, because you'll be able to help yourself. You'll be able to help your family and loved ones if you don't even make a career out of it. It is something that's a feather in your cap, because it is something that you have accomplished on how to handle the human body, which today, with all the diseases that are attacking us, I think that's a great data set to have. So please, all of you guys must pay attention to your nutrition lectures that you all have in your courses, whether it is in catering or in sports. Nutrition is a very important subject. Even doctors today are realizing the importance of nutrition. In their entire MBBS, 120 credits or whatever that they do to become doctors in 5 years, they only do 1 hour of nutrition. 1 hour in their entire 5 years, they are giving 1 hour to nutrition, which they are now realizing that is the downfall of their system. It is the downfall of the medical industry, because medicines don't know how to cure. Medicines only can temporarily relieve the symptoms of the disease, whether it is diabetes or blood pressure or heart attacks. They can only give symptomatic relief. They cannot help you cure the problem. The cure is only in the food, and if you don't know how to handle your food, you'll never be able to cure it. So there is an entire branch of doctors who have separated from the conventional branch of medicine, and they call themselves integrative medicine or functional medicine. These are practitioners who believe in nutrition, who believe that food can make you or break you. They don't want to call themselves nutritionists, because somehow nutritionists are kept under doctors and doctors are kept over us. So they call themselves functional medicine practitioners, but basically what they have become are nutritionists. They have studied biochemistry. They have already done biochemistry because of medicine. Now they are understanding food and biochemistry, and then they are updating their data set and calling themselves integrative doctors. But they are actually basically nutritionists. So sooner or later, darling, nutritionists are going to be the need of the hour for the world. Today, it's as well, I would say that nutritionists are in quite good demand. If you're going to talk about the salary structure of some nutritionists, yes, it is not at the best salary structure when it comes to jobs at hospitals and gymnasiums. But between when I passed out and what they get today, there's a vast difference. When I passed out, job was it was more about job satisfaction than income that you made. Like I told you all, there are 2 types of profession. So at that point in time, being a nutritionist was not lucrative at all. You really did not make much money out of it. But today, all of that is changing. That's because the world is now more and more realizing the importance of nutrition. So there are lots and lots of courses. I'm sure your university as well as online will be able to give you more details about what is available, but you have lots to do, and you can do multiple. If you do decide to do diploma courses because of shortage of time or whatever reasons, you can do multiple diploma courses, so just to enhance your data set, but be willing to study. That's what's important. You have to be willing to give that commitment. It's not something which is very easy. It's not reading a book and becoming a nutritionist. There are quacks in the market, yes, hundreds and hundreds of quacks who have just lost 20 kilos themselves and call themselves nutritionists. Sadly, there's no body governing the importance of an RD. RD is a registered dietitian, and registered dietitians are only those who have finished their graduation and post-graduation. So you have to do a BSc in nutrition as well as an MSc in nutrition to be called a postgrad, to give an RD exam. So, but not all nutritionists have even studied nutrition. They might have just read a book and they call themselves nutritionists. So, but if you want to be good at it, I believe that you have to study it, and you have to study it well. So if you're willing to give that commitment, please go for it. It's a fabulous job profession. And we need more people who are educated in that field. We don't want quacks. We don't want them spoiling our industry's name. Right. We need more of you who will study it and passionately teach it.
So, Ms. Pooja, what is the difference between nutritionist and dietitian? Because as you said now, registered dietitians are there. So what exactly is the difference between these two terms?
That's a great one. They are both very often used synonymously. If the RD, the importance of RD came into play, that's when you will be able to demarcate the two professions. Otherwise, at the moment, they somehow seem synonymous to each other. The knowledge given to a nutritionist and a dietitian is more or less similar. The job application is what varies with the term. Dietitians are more where it comes to prescribing metabolic diets and healthcare and hospitals, versus nutritionists are more who study the art of nutrients and therefore its application in food product industries, whether it comes to application of nutrition for. So basically those who are more in the research and analysis and therefore deeper understanding of nutritionists were actually supposed to be called nutritionists, and those who gave diets were supposed to be called dietitians. But I don't think there is a strong demarcation between the two segments. I've studied food science and I've studied dietetics undergrad and food science and nutrition postgrad. I call myself a nutritionist, but I'm definitely a dietitian as well. So I don't think there is a clear demarcation here. In the US, there is, because there is importance of RD, its application, and therefore the demarcation of the two terms. In India, it is more or less synonymously used. But like I said, nutrition doesn't only have to, being a nutritionist doesn't have to be only sitting in a clinic or in a hospital giving diets. You require a nutritionist in every aspect of food production. So whether it is big MNCs who are making foods, whether it is marketing who are selling foods, they all are hiring nutritionists because they need to understand the angle of nutrition, because nutrition is a hot keyword. Okay, as they say, there are buzzwords, or so. Diet and food and weight loss, these are the most searched words on Google as well, right? So these are hot words. Everyone wants to know a diet tip or two. So there is a lot of job application for a nutritionist. Windows and channels are going on opening day after day. So the more of you who join into the pool, the more scientific research will come in, because we need community nutritionists who are helping larger communities through mass communication. We need nutritionists in companies. We need nutritionists in hospitals. We need them in gymnasiums. We need them in day-to-day children's centers. We need them in schools. We need them everywhere. you think of one area. For example, big companies have their own in-house nutritionist, like a banking company can have a nutritionist. Schools have their own nutritionist. So I think the application of a nutritionist is in every field. So as long as you're a good nutritionist, that's what matters.
So one of the participants is asking why only women are there in this field. We hardly find any men.
No, not really. There are a lot of men who are also in nutrition. I know many of them who are. Boys, don't think that this is a job which was only meant. I know it's a fabulous job for women to have, because it helps us demarcate our family life as well as our professional lives. So it's a great job for us to have. But men, I know a lot of men who are into the field of food science and nutrition. So please do not think that this is. I don't think today there's any such job which is only
Right.
male or only female. I think we've forgotten that gender bias completely. And we are the 21st century, and you guys are the millennials. So please do not think that nutrition is a subject made only for women. Yes, currently maybe it's more ruled by women, but come on, guys, you guys feel free to take over.
Pooja, those who have done biochemistry or microbiology for their graduation, can they opt for nutrition post-graduation?
Yes.
Okay.
So you have to have a science background to be able to attack nutrition.
Okay.
So if you have even basic science, so for us to start it after our 12th, we had to have a basis of science to do food science and nutrition. You can't do commerce and arts and then get into nutrition.
Okay.
So you have to have a science background, only because, like I told you, you have to know bio and chemistry to be able to understand the human body.
Okay. So if a student has done MSc in microbiology, he can take a BSc in microbiology, he can take up MSc in nutrition.
Yes, I think so. It sounds, because if he's done a BSc in microbiology, means he's really done his biology well. I'm sure certain aspects of chemistry are also included in microbiology, so I don't think it should be a difficult. Or maybe he might just need to do a little bit of a bridge studying by himself to be able to update himself with that data set to be able to understand chemistry again. It's not that he could have not done chemistry if he's done MSc in in microbiology. But it could be a great combination if you know microbiology and then you understand nutrition. I think it can be a fabulous spark, because you've understood biology so well that you can then integrate nutrition into it and be able to come up with great products, great theories, great meal plans.
Okay. And Ms. Pooja, our students who are from the hotel management background, so they are very good at their culinary skills. So if they can add on this nutrition part, by undergoing some certification courses or maybe some value-added courses.
Yeah.
So I think, being a chef, when they enter the industry, so they'll have more of idea about food and nutrition and how to prepare. So do you think can they have, undergo such kind of courses, short-term courses?
Definitely. Definitely, it will add a lot of value to their current data set, because as a chef, you're responsible for churning out. As a chef, you are taught how to churn out tasty food. But if you get in the aspect of a nutrition in it, and then you can churn out tasty, nutritious food, it's a cherry on the cake. So I think it can really enhance you guys, whoever has studied catering, to do even a basic course. There are part-time courses, there are 6 months courses. So any diploma in basic food science and nutrition, where you can understand a tad bit of nutrition, so that you can then understand the food in the light of nutrition and then tweak it according to your skills to come up with great recipes which are healthy and tasty, because that's the need of the hour. People need food that is tasty, but if you can give them health with it, I think you will be highly sought after by most restaurants, because all restaurants are now trying to tweak chefs their menus to become healthier, because the awareness amongst people is becoming more and more, and people want to eat healthier. So I think it can really enhance your data set. Yes.
One of the participants is asking, ma'am, which side courses can we do along with BSc Food and Nutrition?
Along with BSc in Food and Nutrition, you want to do? Wow. So I don't think with BSc Food Science and Nutrition आपके पास कोई time होगा, because BSc Food Science and Nutrition is not an easy course. It's really hectic. I think I would at the moment. I don't think I would do any course along with it, darling, because then I think you will not do justice to your BSc course. Do justice to it. It's really very, very difficult. It's a lot of padhai, and as you will go into first year to second year to third year, chutney nikal jayegi. I don't think you'll be able to do something else along with it. I don't think you should do a certification course, but if you want to online hear docu-series and you want to see what's happening in the world, just Google docu-series, health docu-series, gut microbiome docu-series, functional medicine docu-series, बहुत सारी मिल जाएंगे. You can attend those, but I don't think you should take up another. I don't think you should take up another course per se. Okay. Is my suggestion.
Ms. Pooja, what about the students who are from the sports and exercise department? So can they do some
yes.
add-on course as side by side along with their graduation, or they should complete their graduation and go for, maybe masters or some diploma courses?
That depends on whether they want to do a post-graduation or not. But when they are studying sports, what is their base? What is their background? Is it more? Do they have some science base in it?
Yes, 12th standard science, and they did then take up the sports and exercise stream.
So very good. I think understanding nutrition can help them understand exercise even better, because your body. Remember, bodies are made. See, I'm a nutritionist, so that's what I'm going to say. But bodies are made 70% in the kitchen and 30%. In the gym or by training or by exercise. So if you can get 100%, so I can't give exercise tips as a nutritionist, but you as an expert in exercise and physical fitness, know nutrition, you're on 100% impact. So I would do something in nutrition for sure, because the way you eat is the way your muscles respond, the way you eat pre and post. So I'm sure in your training, you must have done a little bit of nutrition, pre-exercise, post-exercise, for recovery, for wear and tear, for repair. But if you understand it a little bit deeper in terms of food science, in terms of biochemistry of foods, and how when you digest protein, what happens in the biochemistry of the body, and how much ATP is released and how much creatinine is released, and therefore how much muscle can be built, or rather how much fat can be lost. If you understand the biochemistry of how food is digested inside, and therefore how it is absorbed within the body, you will be able to get better justice to the exercise that you are advocating. So I think it could be a great asset, whether it's a diploma course, or I would do a post-graduation course in nutrition, because I think it will really enhance what you're doing, because you'll be able to get far better results from any physical activity if you know how to feed your client better food. Strongly advocated.
One of the participants is asking, after BSc Food and Nutrition, can I get a job, or will I be able to build a career? So is it only masters, or even after graduation, the students can build up their career?
No. Even after graduation, darling, you can build up a career. It's not a problem at all. I've got a message from Nikita, who says she is a master's student from SNDT. Well done, darling. I am also a master's student from SNDT, and it's a great university. I just can't stop harping about my university. But yes, it is. So good luck, Nikita. Now, even her question is, how do you start your career after a master's, or the other person's question, how to start a career even after graduation? To both of that, I would say, guys, like in every job, education is the foundation, but experience is what is going to make you different. If you don't want to be lost in the herd of nutritionists and the herd of people who are graduating from your universities, you have to learn to get experience. You have to find your own path to what you have studied and what you will practice. Your education doesn't teach you how to package yourself. Only your experience will teach you that. So I have worked with at least 5 or 7 nutritionists before I actually started my own practice. I started studying while I was doing my masters. I practiced all throughout my masters. So the 2 years of my masters, I worked with 2 nutritionists. I practiced with another 3 or 4 of them after my graduation, post-graduation. And then I decided to start off as a nutritionist. So to all of you who want to do it post-graduation or after masters, of course, the more you study, the better it is. And everybody knows that. But some of us don't have the liberty to be able to achieve that, either because of time constraint or economic constraint or any other reasons that you cannot pursue further education. You can even work after BSc, but you need experience, darling. So reach out to as many available streams that you have in terms of nutrition. Read a lot of books on practicality of nutrition. You must also, after nutrition, do a little bit of counseling or lectures on counseling or courses, short-term courses on how to talk to a client, how to be able to be forceful on certain points, how to use diction, how to use your hands. Because like I said, being a nutritionist is semi-body and semi-mind. You have to be able to connect with the person sitting across you to get your after a certain point of practice, like for example, today after 20 years of practice, I have earned myself credibility. So I know the person who's sitting across me believes in me. So then I don't have to sell the concept to the person because I have earned the credibility. But while you're going to earn the credibility, you have to A, have the knowledge, and B, the convincing power of communication, of how you can win the person over and make a little name for yourself via people. Of course, you guys have social media now to help you. We never had any of that. We are using that today, but you have that from the beginning. So use these ways and means. But if you're not going to practice, darling, you can't come out fresh out of a university and start practice. You have to work. I mean, you can't start individual practice. You can start working in a gymnasium. That is also experience, right? So you either take up a job in a gymnasium or as an assistant nutritionist in a hospital. You can do that, but do that. If you are looking at becoming, this tag that people have put on this thing of celebrity nutritionist. Everybody just keeps messaging me, how do I become a celebrity nutritionist? There is no way you become a celebrity nutritionist. I don't know how I earned this silly tag. It's very silly. But if you help one celebrity, you're called a celebrity nutritionist, darling. You can't become, I don't know how to become one. Okay, I don't know how I was labeled one. But because celebrities enhance anybody's being, people coined the term to be celebrity trainer, celebrity nutritionist, celebrity book writer. Those are just terms. So you cannot earn the tag. Once you will get one celebrity, aapko bhi celebrity nutritionist bulaya jayega. But to get to that level, darling, you have to work thoda and earn a little name for yourself. And you can only earn a name for yourself if you believe in what you're telling. If you're just telling it but you dare try it on yourself, the diet that you are recommending to people, you will never tell your loved ones to do, then you're never going to succeed. So don't find shortcuts. Find something that's real. That's what works. You have to be real. You have to passionately love what you're doing. Then not a single day is working. Then it's a hobby. What I'm doing right now, talking to you guys about it or consulting, for me, this is, I'm supposed to be in lockdown. Everyone's supposed to be chilling, but I don't know how to chill. I don't know how to do that. I just want to work because I just absolutely love helping people and absolutely love my work. So whether I'm well, I'm unwell, I'm bored, or I'm mentally tired of the lockdown, I just work because that automatically makes me happy. So find your happy, guys. If you all find your happy, and trust me, happy doesn't come essay, huh? Happy comes when you're good at it. And to be good at anything, you have to work hard. So these are the years, guys. Give it your best. Study hard. Whatever your dream is, you will achieve it if you study hard. Nothing comes easily. Nothing comes by copying, nothing comes by pass marks, nothing comes by cheating. If you work hard for these few years of your life, you will be good at whatever you're studying. And then only will you be happy working. See, happiness doesn't fall out of the sky and hit you on the head. You are happy doing something because you're good at it. So it's a chain reaction. Because you're good at it, you're happy doing it. Because you're happy doing it, you keep doing it and you get better at it. And the more you get better at it, the more you become famous. The more you become famous, the more doing what you're doing makes you happy. So it's all everything holds hand, but it all starts from hard work. That's what's important.
And Pooja, आप nutritionist नहीं, teacher लग रही थी अभी मुझे. So
I told you ना, as a nutritionist बहुत सारी चीजें सीखनी पड़ती है.
And one of the participants, she's asking, I'm a student of SNDT and I'm in third year home science, but not in nutrition. So can you suggest me some diploma courses?
My love, you are in SNDT. Turn around, piche. As soon as the university opens, just go to the counseling section, and they will teach you. You will be able to tell me more about what is happening in SNDT now than I can. But there are lots of short-term courses, sweetheart. Feel free to check with your university. If you have a tad bit of, I hope you have a tad bit of nutrition, science background till your 12th standard. Then you will definitely be able to do the diploma courses. There are 6 months diploma courses. Please do 1 or 2 of them. You'll enjoy them.
And one more question is, I'll be completing my MSc Food Science and Nutrition this year. And she's a graduate from Biochemistry department. I plan to become a nutritionist. So what would you suggest as a next step towards being a nutritionist?
She has done biochemistry, undergrad in biochemistry,
yes,
and postgrad in nutrition.
Yes.
Now work experience, sweetheart. You've collected a good data set. Your education is strong. I really like the combination of biology and post-graduation in nutrition. So you've done a great choice in your education. Now make a few good job experience gather some job experience in terms of communicating with people, and you're good to go. You have a good sound base in nutrition. So that's a great thing that you've done. Thoda just finishing touches in terms of experience and you're good to go.
And I'm 27 years and I would like to pursue nutrition. So at this age, is it possible?
Of course, at any stage and age, anything is possible. You can take up medicine if you want, my love. You just have to have the willpower to give that much time. Now, if you're saying I'm 27 and I am married and I don't have time, to do any course, you need to give it time. And if you really want to study it, age is absolutely no barrier. Of course, colleges will take you. Please go. I would love to go back to studying. I'm going to do that when my girls go to university. My girls are now 12 and 15 years. So very soon they will go to university. And when they go to university, I'm also going to go back to studying. So yes, go study. 27 you're tiny, my love. Make the most of your life. If nutrition attracts you, then give it back. See, remember, you have to love something for it to love you back. I say that for food. I always tell people, love food that loves you back so that you make healthy choices. So if you are liking the idea, even if you don't become a nutritionist or a celebrity nutritionist, studying nothing in life can do you harm. If you don't use it as a career, you'll use it for yourself, for your children during your pregnancies, to take care of your mother-in-law, to take care of your mother, your grandparents. Nutrition is universal. So whether you make it a career or not, studying nutrition is never going to be some data set that you'll throw away at the back. It's always something you will use because we will be eating food till our dying day.
Right.
So it's a great set to get.
And learning is a continuous process.
Always.
We learn. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. And one question is, do we have any entrance examination for nutrition?
I don't know. I'm sorry. There wasn't anything 25 years ago, but you definitely needed to have certain marks in terms of bio and chemistry to be able to get into dietetics. But I don't think there's an entrance exam. There might be an entrance exam for post-graduation, but I don't think, and there is an entrance exam to become a registered dietitian, but I don't think I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not going to give you all guys the wrong information. Please look up my college ka website, SVT ka website. They'll tell you about it.
Just one last question. This is not related to career, but this girl is asking, how does exercise affect one's blood sugar?
Directly exercises affects, darling, because when you do not exercise, there is just no delete. So if you guys have heard my philosophy is all about eat and delete. So eat is the nutrition and delete is how your body utilizes this nutrition to delete. So if there is eat without delete, there will be more storage of weight and therefore more storage of fat, therefore more increase in weight. So it's always an eat-delete equation. If you want to lose weight, the delete has to be more than the eat, like I'm showing right now. If you want to maintain weight, eat and delete have to be the same. Even then, exercise is important. And if you want to gain weight, eat has to be more and delete has to be less. Simple. That's all there is to weight loss. So if you understand this eat-delete equation, exercise is a very crucial factor for not only weight loss or physical well-being, but also for mental well-being. If you don't release endorphins, your cortisol makes you mad. It makes you hyper, angry, depressed, anxiety, irritable, gets you into addictions. So then the mind doesn't listen to you. So if you learn how to do eat and delete and you learn how to eat right and therefore feed your mind right and exercise right, then you have conquered health. That's as simple as that. Exercise is extremely crucial. Okay. And one of someone asked me, and they always keep asking me that, do I keep interns? You are a student from SVT. I would love to, sweetheart, but in my practice, it's I have no interns. I will hopefully start one day, but at the moment, my facility doesn't allow me for interns, and I have no interns. So sorry, Harshita. But when I do start, I will be putting it up on social media and then I will take up as many interns as I can. But at the moment, I don't.
And another question, again, not related to career. So any tip to boost immunity in this corona situation?
Yes, you have watch all my other videos on social media. I put up one video almost every day. I do one live every day only about immunity. So if you guys can go to my Instagram page, sweetheart, I have given you all the tips and all the secrets to be able to boost immunity, what to eat, what not to eat, what vitamins to take, how much to sleep, all of it. So please go on to the website on Instagram and you can take a look at it.
Thank you, Pooja, for answering all the questions, related to career, whatever students had queries and everything. So any tip you want to give, especially during the lockdown, what students can do instead of wasting time? Yeah, they have their assignments and everything, but still they get a lot of time. So what they can do, to avoid, that kind of stress, and they equally have stress because they're thinking about the examination and other things. So what would you suggest to them?
Okay, firstly, I'm just going to say hi to Tanishka, who says that she's a big fan, and I will check up your Instagram page, Tanishka. I will try my level best. As soon as I finish, I will look it up for you. And to all of you who are getting worried about the ambiguity of tomorrow, your career, your exams, the economy, what will happen after the lockdown, all of us are in the same boat. जो सब करेंगे वो आप भी कर लोगे, darling. तो अब इतना worry करने, हम कुछ worry करके क्या पाएंगे? Can we change anything? No. If you worry too much, you will release too much cortisol. Too much cortisol only weakens your immunity. So we have to learn to knack the bag here, and we will be able to successfully do it. Keep yourselves busy is what I would suggest everyone to do. You guys are students. Padho. Use this period to able to do so well that when you have to give exams, your teachers should be shocked out of their mind कि बच्चों ने किया तो कितना पढ़ा. So please study. Use this time. That's what I make my girls do. They have to study 2 hours every day because पूरा दिन TV और पूरा दिन whiling away कितना time pass करोगे. So study and keep yourselves busy. Do some online courses. Do your hobby courses. Keep yourselves busy because that's the best way to kill time. Otherwise, जितना Netflix देखोगे उतना और पक जाओगे और जितना Snapchat और Instagram करोगे उतना पक जाओगे. So thoda pad lo, so that you learn something you really wanted to but never got the time. For example, both my girls are learning how to cycle. Sadly, I never got the time to teach them how to cycle. So they both are learning how to cycle right now. The next on the list is badminton to teach them. So because we live in a home, not in a building, my girls never got to do all of this. So find something that you really wanted to do. Maybe it could be calligraphy, maybe it could be nutrition, learn some docu-series, go online, read up a little bit, learn the art of Tabata or whatever exercise that you wanted to. Everyone's giving you online courses. Even Harvard has opened up a few courses free so that students can sit and do online courses. So look up for these classes. If you have the facility to be able to pay up and do some online courses, whether it is from Oxford, Harvard, whatever online, you have the whole library of nutrition knowledge accessible to you guys at this age, which we didn't. So please use that. And then when the lockdown gets over, you'll be like, it's okay. I was locked inside my house for 2 months, but I came out learning this, that. So there's something that you will come out of this lockdown positively. So to all of you students, make the most of it. These are the years to study. That's all I have to tell you. These are the hard work years. I'm not saying you don't have to work hard later, but if you work hard now, you will work less hard here. So if you decide you rather work hard now than when you're older and you have children and in-laws and job responsibilities and the fact that you have to be the breadwinner. Right now, your only role is to study. So please study. Although studying is not something that people look up fondly to, but invest in it. You'll never regret it.
Thank you so much, Pooja. Thanks a lot for coming here and addressing our students. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Pleasure. Okay, bye guys. All the best. Study well, study hard, be safe. Take care. Bye-bye.